Good morning and welcome to the little apartment on the prairie. Today I wanted to talk about prices going up. You may have noticed that prices for food and other things that you buy in the store have gotten higher and they're going to keep going up. Several companies, I know one of them was Procter & Gamble and I forget the other one. Is there Kimberly-Clark or something? Anyway, some other company, a couple companies have talked about how prices are going to have to go up. There's inflation and the reasons for prices going up. There are many factors that are kind of contributing that are happening all at once. In terms of food items going up, apparently there's a shortage or increased prices on like some staple items like wheat and oil and sugar. So like Procter & Gamble says, any like food items containing like packaged food items containing those ingredients, which is just about everything, is going to go up. Also, somehow there is a shortage of microchips out there, and I'm guessing that's because we make microchips, or we buy microchips that are made overseas, and so because of the pandemic, there's been a shortage of a lot of electronic goods, and like we got new washers and dryers in my apartment building, and it took a couple months to get new washers and dryers. They just couldn't get them delivered sooner than that, and that was a real pain in the butt because we had to go to the laundromat, and there's this little laundromat here, and it is it's not a good laundromat. Anyway, and it's more expensive. So I was doing laundry in my little foot-pedaled washing machine, and it was a pain. But there's a shortage of microchips. And so all kinds of companies, that doesn't just mean that there's a shortage of or increased prices for electronic equipment and household appliances, but all kinds of companies use microchips in their manufacturing equipment, so that can create a shortage and prices going up. Then apparently they're talking about raising the gasoline tax, and if the cost of gas, as that goes up, the price of everything is going to go up because it costs more to transport goods. Yes, Whiskers, I see you. So just prices are going up like crazy. And a lot of stores, what they're trying to do to keep from raising prices too much, or not the stores, but manufacturers, is they're decreasing the amount of a product you get. So like if you were paying $3.99 for a 16-ounce jar of peanut butter, they're going to make that jar just a little bit smaller, but try to make it look similar, so you won't notice that you're getting less peanut butter, but you're only going to get 15 ounces instead of 16 ounces for the same price. So you're paying more per ounce, but the same price per jar, so you might not notice. And one of the things that sometimes companies do is, because they don't want the container to look smaller, is they'll make the bottom of the jar will be like concave instead of flat. So if it's flat, you have this many ounces, but if the bottom kind of curves like that, when you look at the jar from the side, from the front, it still looks like the same shape. You don't notice that the bottom curves and there's just a little bit less peanut butter or whatever in that jar. And so that's something that's happening too, that if you pay attention to the price per ounce of items at the store, you'll be paying more even if you're paying the same price per package. And I know like one company was saying with paper towels, they were just reducing the number of sheets on a roll. But if you normally had like 160 paper towel sheets on a roll, if you cut it to like 120, people didn't really notice that the size was smaller. I think the number was some odd number. It was like 168 sheets to 122 sheets or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but that like people just didn't pay attention. The roll still looked the same. It kind of looked like the same size. It felt like the same size. People didn't really notice that they were getting a little bit less for the same price. So the question is, what do you do about this? And one thing that I'm going to do is, at least for the summer, now some financial experts are saying they think prices will come back down like later in the year. And that might be, but how often do you see prices go down? I mean, prices go up, they stay stable, they go up, they plateau and stay stable for a while. How often have you gone to the store and seen that the prices on items you normally buy have just dropped? Or suddenly they're putting more peanut butter in the jar instead of less, or more paper towels on the roll for the same price. I mean, that just doesn't happen very often, I don't think. So, at the same time, with some items like appliances or electronics, if you need to buy those things, if you can buy them now, that's probably going to be cheaper than if you buy them later, because prices are probably going to go up more. One of the things I'm going to try to do is, I've got a lot of canned goods and a lot of like shelf stable food that I had purchased back like at the beginning of the pandemic, when you didn't know when you were going to be able to find food in the store, and you didn't know if you were going to be like on a lockdown or what was going on. So I'm going to try to eat out of my pantry a lot, because I need to do that anyway before that food goes bad. So a lot of what I'm going to be buying at the store for the next few months is just going to be the fresh stuff, the perishable stuff. And then I'm also trying to grow some food, and I wish I had taken a picture, but I forgot to take my phone with me. But I went to check on my vegetables, and I have one little green tomato that's like that big, and I'm so excited. So depending on where you live, it may not be too late to buy some plants and start trying to grow some of your own food if you're able to do that. I think it's a good thing for everybody to try and grow some of their own stuff. Let me know what you're doing to deal with the prices going up, how you're coping with that. Is that something you've noticed in the store yet? And do you think they're going to keep going up, or do you think they're going to go back down? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and everybody stay safe out there.